before I put all this stuff in and have the motor completely assembled, I'm gonna get a picture of everything and all the parts that I bought and kind of price it out. It was like $1,700, just over $1,700 for the whole. I'm putting a cam bearing set in it, transmission bearings because I'm all the way in there. So I'm replacing like all the bearings in there, all the seals, cranking rod, piston. It's got a forged piston, which it looks pretty tight. And a stage 3 cam. Oh, and if you see me, and if you ever see this video and you ever see me out riding or something for whatever reason, it's stock. I was thinking about putting getting a graphics kit that says 520 on it because it's a 520 stroker big bore. So I was thinking about getting that or a 449 maybe. I don't know. Just what I was thinking. But these are right on the edge. This kit's about as big as you can get with stock cases and an OE, or not an OE, but a stock trans, I think. It's very, this is right on the edge of what you can do, and you gotta run a 50-93 race gas mix at the least. But I'm not gonna dick with it. I'm gonna run, because I don't know how much I'm gonna be riding it, because I'm gonna have my bike done more than likely by the time I'm really gonna be burning gas. So I'm just gonna be running 2-stroke for most of the time, because that's a YZ. And off topic. So I'll probably just be running straight race gas. I'm not really gonna be worried about dicking with jets and nothing. I'll just throw a fat jet in there, tune it, make sure it's all good and ripping, and then just ship it. What else was I gonna say? Oh, nothing real special. I had to heat the cases up on 2 bearings. Really, nothing. That bearing puller wasn't real big. It was kind of wimpy, and I didn't have a way to hold the cases down, so I kind of just held it and just went for most of them. But the guy I work with was at the shop as well, and I heated the cases up, and he kind of gave her the beans, and it took a couple tries, but we got one of the main bearings out, and I think it might have been a countershaft bearing. That was the only 2 that fought me, and all I had to do was heat the case up a little bit, get it to expand just that little bit, and we were A-okay. The part that's taken the most, I've probably spent a solid 8 hours. At least 8 hours taken and cleaning these 2 cases, and they're not even fully clean yet. I've just sanded them down and got the brushed look that I was going for. I got all the big grease on all the big grease in dirt spots on the outside for the most part. The outside's clean. I just gotta clean up the inside and I still haven't pressed the bearings in. I didn't really feel like messing around with it because I'm gonna have to clean it again, and I gotta get my frame powder coated and yada yada yada. It's gonna be a while for the motor's actually in the quad, and I didn't really plan on putting the motor back together this weekend because I left parts down at my buddy's house, so that wasn't gonna get put together this weekend anyway. So I was just worried about cleaning it up, making it look half decent. So yeah, the most time-consuming part's cleaning, for sure. Getting the old base gaskets off, or not the base gasket, the case gaskets off was a fun time. Especially with the very small sealing surface. You gotta be real careful when you're scraping it off not to gouge the surface. But other than that, it's not too difficult as long as you get a razor blade and half of an idea of what you're doing, you'll be all right. I mean, I've done it enough to where I know what I'm doing. I'm not a professional by any means, but I mean, I've been in plenty of motors, and I'm only 20, but I work with a master tech, and I get shit from it all the time. You don't know what you're doing, but I do, and especially with a guy that's had 20 plus years, and then my dad's had 40 plus, so I know what I'm doing. And if I don't, I ask. So I more than likely will be doing it right. The break-in procedure, that's the next thing I'm really worried about. I'm not worried about assembling it. I mean, I am, but I'm not. The next thing, I'm really scared about break-in because I'm real limiter happy, which reminds me of my valve springs. I'll get back to that. I've been known, and Drake will attest to this, I'm known to be limiter happy. I will get on the limiter and I'm not afraid to use it. So I'm a little nervous to hit the limiter with this motor, I guess, over the first like 10 hours probably. I don't really want to hit the limiter over the first 10 hours. I'm not going to ride it probably for the first 3. I'm going to let Drake do that more than likely. He's going to break it in for me since he broke the other one in. He knows what he's doing, breaking them in. I'm sure I would be fine. He's done it, so I'm just going to let him do it and not mess with it. Break in, heat cycle. I got to be real careful with the heat cycle. I got to put a new bump stick in there, stage 3 cam I'm putting in. So I got to get that all dialed in and put together. Duh. Yeah. With your head. So this kit comes with 12 mil head studs, or like studs for your head. It's late. Long day. And so if you are putting the 12 mils in, which I would highly recommend because the old ones are kind of a little bit of weak sauce. I think they're 10 mils. So they're like 12 mil at the bottom in the case, and then they neck down to 10 mil. So they go up through the jug and to the head, and then the head is 10 mils. You're gonna have to get it to the machine shop. So I'm waiting on my head to get done. You can drill it out. There's only all you got to do is 10 mil or 12 mil, obviously, but there's just 2 oil passageways, so you'll be all right. You'll be all right. There's nothing real crazy in there. It's just you got the dowels fit. That's what I was a little worried about. The dowels are good. They fit the stud, so you got to drill just the head out a little bit, and then you're all right. I wouldn't do that by yourself. Don't just send it to the machine shop because you'll probably, if you're doing, unless you're a machine shop, then you can do it, I guess. But I would not recommend doing that like by yourself. My dad was like, "Yeah, I can do that." I'm like, pass. I don't really feel like fucking up a $600 head with all the fat chance. Talk about the head. I was thinking about porting it a little bit. I talked to machine shop. He's like, we don't really do that. So I might just run some sandpaper in the exhaust, maybe a little bit. Maybe, and I don't really feel like dicking with the guides too much because I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm just probably, worst comes to worst, I'll just leave it. I'm not too horribly big on it. I might open it up a little bit. But then the carb's still restrictive, so I'm not really too worried about it. Other than that, it'd be a bigger carb is what I'd be running. God, these gnats are horrendous. Other than that, I got to tear, I still have the frame attached to the A-arms, so I got to take all my front suspension off, which you'll see in a video. But I got to figure out, I got to create a page or something where I can put all these pictures for this motor because it's just been a long process. Yeah, it's just been a long process. I'm not real excited about it, but I am excited about it. I don't really want to, going back to, I don't want to break it. I've spent over $2,000 on a rebuild, and I'm doing all the work, so I'm saving myself probably $2,000 doing it. So we shall see. We shall see. I can't really think of anything else. I'm sure if I do, I'll make another video. and let you know. But other than that, it's pretty much just send it. There's like I can't think of the assembly lube. It's like a red. As long as you have moly, you gotta have moly. That's like one of the biggest things is moly, because with new motor you're not gonna have a delay in oil and oil pressure, so you gotta have moly. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad day. And that being said, when your first oil change is gonna be flakes. As long as it's not like huge flakes, just some shimmers, and as the first couple oil changes, the shimmers should get smaller and smaller, and then eventually kind of just disappear. And that's in your engine oil. You'll have clutch material in general, but in your transmission oil, but nothing real ridiculous, I would say. Because Drake was doing the other motor, and that had flakes in it. Nothing ridiculous. I mean, to be expected stuff, I guess. Nothing horrible, nothing huge and shit. So, yeah, if you have any problems, or not problems, but if you have any questions, I'll leave an email in the description. So if you want to see it, if you want to email me any questions, I'm knowledgeable about this stuff, and I have multiple people I can ask, and there's nothing like, I have a pretty good rap on stuff, so like I have a pretty good mind on, not mind, I can't talk. I have a pretty good idea of things. I'm not a genius, but I know what I'm talking about for the most part. I get the idea. So I'm more than happy to help, and if I can't help you, I'll try and point you in the right direction of who can help you. So, yep, thanks for your time, and leave a like and subscribe, I guess. Nothing other than that. Peace out. So I kind of figured I'd make like an update video of what I've been doing, and then what I've been trying to figure out so far with my build. So I'm learning a lot about parts, and yeah, I'm just learning a lot about this in general, and it's kind of been fighting me. The case, I just got done cleaning the cases. I'm gonna have that video up, or I could put it in this video. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I have some pictures of the bearings being out. I didn't really film it. I was kind of just cleaning. I pulled the bearings halfway through it. The only specialty tool I used for that was like a Harbor Freight bearing puller, maybe. If I find it's in the car, so if I figure it out, I'll put it in here. I was gonna polish the cases, but I kind of just sanded the cases down I hit some spots with 100 grit, and then I went down to 320, and then a little bit of 600 here and there, some 400 here and there. Just smooth it out, brighten the cases up, because the cases were really dirty. And then some gray Scotch Brite, which is the equivalent of 800. So nothing crazy. It was more of a looks. It's kind of a brushed look, I would say. It's nothing crazy. I didn't power tools it because I didn't want to take too much off. I just did it by hand. So I mean, it looks good enough for me. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't really care what anybody else says. It's mine. You can fuck right off for all I care. It's my quad. I'm doing it that way. Suck it. I will post a link too. I found a good forum. It's called, sorry, these gnats are ridiculous in my house. But I did find a good forum. It's trx450r.org, I believe. And there's a guy on there, I think his name's Greg. He posted basically a short paper on how to break these in, and I've been reading that. It was really informational. And that's how that's what my buddy Drake he broke the other motor in the previous video. We've got that all back together. We had a China base gasket that was tore, and that was a big problem. We've been fighting it, so he took the jug off, left the piston in it. He somehow did that because it was like mid break-in and the gasket was leaking, like pouring out of it. So that's that. That's back together. It wasn't charging. We think it's the rectifier or the regulator. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's I don't know. It's not charging. So once we get it started, it's good, but it won't charge or nothing. So I think that might be what's wrong with mine. But I got a new battery for mine because it had a shit battery, and so I got a new battery, just a Tusk one. I don't really care. I didn't really feel like dropping $100-something bucks on a battery. Bought the cheap one. Who cares? So I am gonna powder coat my frame. I don't know. I'm purple still. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do pink A-arms and pink accents for the most part. My I gotta fix my left Nerf bar because it cracked. Nothing big. Just gotta take it up to the guy, get it welded. Because it's aluminum. I don't have aluminum. I don't really feel like dicking with it. I'll just take it over there and he can do it. Not worth my time. So have that all done. Those are gonna stay polished aluminum or whatever the hell it is. Just however they are. Paint my frame a purple and the subframe purple. Keeping my bars black. I'm probably gonna do pink grips as well. Leaving my handguards black. I want to get full metal bark busters, but I don't really feel like buying them because I've already spent way more money than I wanted. Oh, I bought a clutch basket too because I'll put a picture if I can get it. The clutch basket was totally smoked. It was all grooved up real bad. The guy that raced the other guy's quad, that's the other motor. He walked in there, he's like, oh, looks like you've been doing like third gear and second gear just takeoffs and just dumping the clutch. And I was like, maybe second, not so much third. So maybe that's why I've had a bunch of play in my shifter, so I don't really know. I'm trying to figure it out. But the kit comes with a clutch, so I'm putting new clutch basket, heavy duty clutch in it, and we're just gonna go from there and see how bad it is. So I can't remember all the stuff I've been over yet, so I guess I'm gonna pause this and see where I'm at.